Hello and welcome to MGTracey. Well, today we're going to be looking to how to deal with the moss in your lawn. That is one way. We're going to be looking at a slightly easier method. Now, all lawns need to have this done. Some people call it dethatching, some call it scarifying, but what you need to do is get rid of the moss and get rid of a lot of the other stuff that's built up underneath the grass. And that's what a lawn rake will do for you. So we're going to be looking at the latest Black Decker electric lawn rake. So this is the Black Decker 600 watt. Show you what you get in the box. It's a cabled handle. This bit's pretty much pre-assembled. This is the basket that collects the moss, etc. You have a 10-metre cable. There are battery versions available if you fancy that. This is the main unit. It is quite heavy. Luckily for me, it's all pretty much pre-assembled. You can see you've got your springy rake there. On this side you have the height adjuster, and that gives you an overall look at the vehicle. So now we just need to put the handles together. There's the extensions, and there's a couple of screws and a couple of bits to do by hand. So let's get that done. So the first bit I'm going to do is to put the handle into the unit itself. So you'll see it comes with the screws there. You need to take those ones out. I'm using a manual screwdriver. These are tiny little amounts you're doing. And then you put the end into the unit and then screw that screw back in, making sure now that you've pushed this in far enough to line it up, and that screw should then go neatly in to lock the first part of your handle. Now before you get it and you do the handle, make sure you fit this piece over here and then thread it around, and it should end up on the top here as part of your cable tidy. Once you've assembled the handle, obviously you can't get it on, so you need to do it now. So the next thing you'll need is, you've got two of these, so unscrew those, and this will allow you to join the handle together at two different levels. So obviously I'm quite tall, I'm going to have it on the top one here. So the other thing to watch here is, you screw this in, you see this is square, it will in fact slide in, if you've got it correct, completely into that piece of the arm, because that also has a square bit to it. Pull that together and then do that up tight, and just finger tight. You don't need that too tight, and that needs to be done on both sides. So you also have two clips to keep your cables tidy, and they need to be on each side of the right hand of the machine where the cable runs up from the motor. The reason you have these two joins in the middle is that when in storage you can undo them and gently drop down the back of the handle, which just makes it easier for storage when it's not being used. Unscrew them almost fully, clip them back up, tighten them up again, making sure that those bolts go into those square recesses on the outside, and you're ready to go. So just a quick reminder here, you're sliding that into the square bit. Make sure you fitted your washer there, and then tighten this up hand tight when you're ready to go. You've put your two clips, one here, you've left a little bit of cord here, slack, so that when you drop down the handle in storage you don't snag it. And then the top second clip you've put on has got the power cable, orange one, to the mains, and another black one which is connecting your on-off switch to the motor. So I'll just show you how the basket clips on the front. You're going to be doing this a lot. Really, at the end of each run of your lawn, you've probably got to empty this, because it doesn't carry a huge amount, and you'll be surprised the first couple of times you do your lawn just how much comes out. So that just clips on the front, and we're pretty much, I think, ready to go. The last bit we've got to do is adjust the height, and there is a nice little easy reminder here. For most people it's set in 2, unless you're trying to give the lawn a really deep clean, which is dangerous for other ways that you might ruin your lawn, and 3 is really just for cleaning up leaves. So just set it to 2 and you'll be fine. push this in, turn it, and you'll see the whole unit drops down. And 2, that's really fine for everyday use. So we're plugged into an external socket there, which is going for a circuit breaker. Make sure you are on something using a circuit breaker to protect yourself and never get the unit wet. Now you just need to hold this button in and then pull that one up. So when it comes to scarifying your lawn and making it all lovely for later on in the year, those are your 2 choices. This is definitely going to be my choice. Go up and down the lawn in straight lines, don't go over the lawn twice in the way you would just when you're mowing, and twice a year this should be fine. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments box below. Now you will find that the rake pulls you along at quite a pace, and that's quite normal doing the action that it's doing. And in the basket here you can see we've got lots of dead grass and old moss, but also the remnants of a confetti cannon, so you'll have a nice clean lawn. So as this builds up, you can just push this forward and push it down a bit to save your trips to the recycling. The machine and the motors do run on after you turn off the handle, so make sure you're not getting your fingers anywhere near that while the sort of drum is running. And I feel a bit like Dad, but every year people seem to cut off their toes or hurt their toes in the summer with using outdoor machines and not having sensible footwear. So make sure you've got your toes well covered. So this is what your lawn will look like after you've done it for the first time, and you'll see there are lots of long bits. So give it a couple of days. It needs to rain or needs to be watered before you mow that, otherwise you're giving the grass a bit too much stress. And after you've done this a few times, you'll find that those longer ones won't be there anymore, and you'll have a nice lush lawn. So an extra little tip here is that before you put it away, make sure that you don't leave anything here that's all entwined between the end and the motor. Get that all out, because eventually that will damage your motor. So make sure you've cleared here and here if there are any long strands of grass that have managed to wind their way around. So I really hope you found that useful. Please like, share and subscribe, and come back every day for more fun here on MGTracey.